Yes, good morning mga katribo. It's Wednesday, December 20, and it's 5 days to Christmas. Welcome to another episode of Daily Tribune Straight Talk, where we discuss current issues that matter to each of us. I am Gigie Arcilla.
And good morning mga katribu, I'm Chito Lozada. We are live on Daily Tribune's Facebook page and Tribune Now on YouTube.
In this morning's episode, we are joined by a young, youngish daw, the president and CEO of Asian Vision. Asian Vision is not an optical shop or something. It is another player in it's another cable player.
In the broadband business.
So, introduce our guest, Chito.
Mga katribu, welcome to our show, Mr. Paco Magsaysay.
Yes, and probably the family name rings a bell. And by the way, mga katribu, he is the son of the former Senator Ramon Magsaysay.
And the
grandson
of
of the
the former president.
former president.
Ramon Magsaysay Sr.
Thank you, Gigi. Thank you, Chito. Thank you for having me today.
Yes, and thank you also for granting our invitation to be with us this morning.
Thank you.
Okay, fire away, Chito.
Yeah, Paco is more familiar with, more known in the telecommunications industry. And for now, Paco, can you give us an overview of the current status of the telecom industry, broadband, in light of the global events?
Okay.
And now that there's a huge shift to newer technologies, how is Asian Vision coping?
Okay. Well, our industry is a very capital-intensive industry, the telco industry, and the largest player is still PLDT group of Mr. Manny Pangilinan. The second largest group would be the Globe Telecom group of the Ayala conglomerate. And the third player would be Converge of Mr. Dennis Uy from Pampanga. Dito is also a player. I would say they would be the fourth largest. And a lot of smaller operators around the country. No? If you were to look at Converge, they started as a cable company a few decades ago, the same way we did. So we are also similar to Converge in a sense that we started as a cable company, but we're now more moving to broadband internet or value-added services.
For companies, commercial...
for enterprise business,
enterprises.
yeah, for
BPOs,
schools, BPO, healthcare, yeah.
Let me ask, how much is the share of Asian Vision in terms of, in the market?
I don't even think we're 2 or 3% of the total market, no, because we primarily operate in 3 provinces, which is Zambales, Batangas, and Quezon. So we're not even in Metro Manila, so it would be hard to compare us, apples to apples to a big company like a Globe or a PLDT or a Converge. But you mentioned earlier about other technologies like wireless technology, the Starlink of Mr. Elon Musk that has started selling in the Philippines. It's good for far-flung places, no? Places that have direct line of sight to the satellite.
Okay.
So I have a friend that has a yacht, and in the middle of the sea, he gets very clear signal kasi walang obstruction. Kumbaga line of sight ang kanyang service. But if the Starlink is in the city and there's a lot of buildings and there's some trees around, then it becomes a problem.
I see.
Yeah, so this is why companies like Globe or PLDT or even Converge, they use wired service or fiber optic to deliver their service. Kasi it's more reliable and it's less expensive. Mahal kasi ho yung wireless.
Satellite.
Yeah, satellite. Yeah.
There are other wireless technologies.
Yes, I think the company of PLDT, they have a wireless service through their
Yeah,
signal.
but it's still
Signal.
based on
It's still based on a satellite
sat
connection. So
connections.
the weather, if it's raining hard, it causes a lot of reflection with the signal. So sumasama ho yung signal nila pag umulan. Eh, sa Pilipinas, half the year it's raining. So people really normally prefer to do a wired or a cable service.
May mga ganung factor pala,
Yes,
no?
yeah.
So,
Pinaka-reliable pa rin yung wired.
Pinaka-reliable and the least expensive ho. Yeah.
all right. So before we venture into, the business of Paco, so let me ask you, what is the legacy of the Magsaysay family and how it means to you?
Well, in terms of legacy with my lolo and my father, we were always talked about how important integrity, honesty, and hard work is. No?
Integrity.
My dad would always tell me when I was younger that no matter how much money you have, you can never buy the trust of the people or your integrity. Once mawala yun, talagang hindi mo na mababalik yun sa mga tao, no? Or in relationships. So even when we were young, he would always talk about those three virtues, of honesty, integrity, and hard work. And we saw him as a role model, as a sample. Kasi hindi ko na naabutan yung lolo ko. But from what I hear from stories, he would do site inspection in army camps at 2 or 3 in the morning. And talagang unannounced. So he would really check the military installments outside Metro Manila. And he was actually quite he was a guerrilla, so he was used to the hard life. It was not like he tried to please everybody, and so when he would see people not doing their work, or he would see people that would be taking advantage of those who have less in life nga ba, as he would say, nagagalit siya. Kasi he felt that those who have less in life should be more protected than those who have, who are more well off in life. Yeah, so talagang president of the masses yung lolo ko. Yeah.
And he is until now considered one of the best presidents.
Yes, for his time and for what he did, talagang it was a golden time for the Philippines.
Yeah.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah.
Was he the youngest president to have been elected?
Well, he became president
46.
at 46, yeah.
Oh.
I'm not sure how old was Noynoy. Was he in his 50s na when he
Oh,
won?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
50s
Well,
na, yeah.
well, to his
I think
50s.
Yeah.
so. I think it's one of the
One of the younger ones.
One
I'm
of
not
the
sure the youngest, but he was one of the younger ones, definitely. Yeah.
So based on the legacies that your grandfather left behind,
Yes.
honesty, integrity, and hard
Hard
work.
work.
Yeah.
So how do you uphold, and I mean in your
Dealings, regular
your-
dealings, yeah.
in what you
Yeah.
do now?
Well, I'm actually known more for the ice cream business, which I started in 2010, 2011. And as I was growing that business, I really put an emphasis on the relationships I built, with my resellers, with my suppliers. So, we were a small business. We started with a capital of 600,000 pesos in 2011. So, when we would deal with our suppliers, we would make sure that we pay them on time. If we could not pay on time, I would call them up myself and tell them the situation and ask for an extension of 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then, eventually pay the bills. Dealing with our resellers naman, since many of them were SMEs like we were, I understood their situation. So I was very understanding, and I was very supportive of their their business. So parang tulungan, you help me, I help you. And sa awan ng Diyos naman na napalaki namin yung ice cream business to the point na last year binili kami ng Metro Pacific. So, I think it's a testament that if you do good things will happen to you. So, yeah. Kung ano yung tinatanim mo, yun ang aanihin mo.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's really true. Yeah.
you reap what you sow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So,
So, in what ways do you integrate the core values and principles associated with the Magsaysay family into your personal,
personal and professional lives.
yeah. Well, in ano naman, if you're familiar with the credo of my lolo, I think the most important credo that he has is those who have less in life should have more in law. Di ba? So yung pinaka maliliit na tao sa society natin, yun ang dapat pinoprotektahan ng mga batas natin. No? And sadly, it's not always the case.
It's not always
So,
the case.
parang
Okay,
I think on a smaller scale, it's important that we help, people out in whatever way we can. I'm not naman saying that you'll go broke na, no, but if you can help people out in whatever way you can and when you can, support established and reputable foundations or causes. Kasi may mga cause rin dyan na parang nakakaduda eh. So, but there's also a lot of causes naman that are quite legitimate and, how you say, that have a long history already. Kaya, when you mentioned earlier about me going into politics, I always feel that you can always help naman. You don't have to be in politics to help. So, even if you're not in politics, you can also help. Yeah.
Totoo yun.
Yeah.
Totoo yun. Kasi
Yeah.
if you would count how many if yun yung ating susundin,
Yeah. Yeah.
you
Mindset
have to
na
be a
help.
politician just to help. So,
Yeah. Wala nang-
ilan lang naman ang
Yeah,
politicians.
that's right.
Even in the local governments, walang Magsaysay as of now.
Sa ngayon, in our line
In your
of my
yeah,
father,
your father.
wala kaming politician. Yeah.
How
Kasi
about
my
the
dad,
others?
sa other side, yung family ni former Governor Vic Magsaysay, I think there are some that are planning to run this coming election. But as of now, wala. Yeah. Yeah.
So, hindi masyadong hindi masyadong yung influence.
Yeah. Yeah.
So maybe they also believe in what you believe in. Na you don't have to be a politician
Yes.
to help others.
That's right.
Okay. Are there specific projects or initiatives that are aimed the family that aim to preserve the legacy of the Magsaysay aside from politics, of
Yeah.
course.
Well, we helped the Ramon Magsaysay Award Foundation, which is a long-time foundation. I mean, close to 60 years already. And they award people who have the same greatness and spirit as my lolo had, no? And this award is not only in the Philippines, but in Southeast Asia. Well, Asia. So it's come to be known as the Nobel Prize of
Nobel
Asia.
Prize of Asia.
Yeah. And many people from India win, not so much in China because it's a more closed society. So there are yearly about anywhere from 4 to 6 awardees every year. And fortunately, the last several years, there have been Filipinos who have been winning the award. And it's great that these people are highlighted because of their selfless work to the causes that they believe in and that they've been doing for many years, and all under the radar. These are not people who look for attention or they really believe in what they're doing and they love what they're doing, and they just need to be highlighted so maybe more people can support them kasi talagang galing sa puso yung tulong nila. Yeah.
Yeah, so that in itself, yung Magsaysay Awards is
Yes.
already something,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It pushes the legacy
Yeah,
of the
of the
family,
former
yeah,
president.
the former president.
That's right.
Okay, so Chito.
Yeah. So can we go back to to your business?
Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
You said that it is not yet the time or the occasion for satellite to be that extensive sa this industry. So how do you see it developing? Like, maybe 5 years from now?
Actually, even in the US, a company like Verizon, which is formerly a cable company, um, has an advantage over companies that offer a wireless service, no? Because primarily it's the cost. No? I mean, even when you download or update your apps, when you download big files, you don't use your data, di ba? You use your home Wi-Fi to do that because it'll cost you a lot of money if you use your cell phone to download all these things. So that's just how the industry works. So there's always going to be an advantage to wired service. And of course, there's also disadvantages pag napuputol yung line or what, no? Which is inevitable because when trees fall down during bad weather or a truck backs up and it hits the fiber optic wires. Kasi not all naman are underground eh. There's still a big portion that's still nakakabit sa mga poste, no? Kasi it's very expensive nga to construct outside plant and burying all your cables. Napakamahal ng construction cost nun. And you know, the market is very price sensitive, so we really have to cater to, you know, price sensitive market.
So cable pa
Yeah,
din.
so it's still really cable. Wireless is a more expensive play for a company to launch and to offer, and even our franchise is not covering wireless. Wala kaming frequency, you know, or it's really more for cable. Yeah.
But the technology for cable is improving, like the bandwidth of no.
The bandwidth, the speed you can
the
push
speed,
through the fiber optic. Kasi before, if you recall, we were just using dial-up. You call a number and then you get a tone. And
Napakabagal.
yeah, napakabagal. And you know, as technology evolves and new offerings are given through you know, services, whether it's value-added services for businesses, streaming services for entertainment, Zoom calls or Google Meet calls, there's a greater need for bandwidth or speed, diba? So as more offerings come in the near future, we will all want or need more bandwidth, and that's where, you know, these wired service companies comes into play. Kasi mas mura nga kami mag-deliver ng bandwidth kaysa sa wireless. Yeah.
Nasa ano na ba kayo? 5G technology?
Yeah, we're in, well, 5G you're talking about is more of a wireless service.
yan.
Yeah. So it depends what the client wants. I mean, we could serve even up to a 1 gig connection to a business if they have a lot of online work. So yeah.
So I'm going to ask Paco about, I mean, aren't you, since you know it's more cheaper than the wireless
Yes.
technology, so aren't you planning to, you know, expand to you know,
Wireless.
no, expand your areas of
Areas,
operation?
yeah.
But we'll let you answer
yeah.
that, Paco,
Yeah.
when we come back after a short break.
Thank you.
This break is brought to you by Hangkas, Beat the Traffic, Bayad Center, hashtag Bigger Better Younger Bayad, and you can buy it all. Globe, atin ang mundo. Meralco, ang liwanag ng bukas. SM, we've got it all for you. Smart, live more today. Union Bank, it starts with you. A wellness show dedicated to empowering viewers with the knowledge and inspiration needed to lead a healthy lifestyle. Be Well Now, hosted by Miss Cory Quirino, every Wednesday at 2 p.m. only here at Daily Tribune's Facebook page and Tribune Now in YouTube.
Alamin ang pinakamaiinit na balita at mahalagang issue na bumabalot ngayon sa ating bansa. Ating pag-usapan, blow by blow, dito lang sa Hot Patatas, kasama sila Chicky Mangkukang, Vernon Velasco at Gio Leaño. Yung Lunes, Miyerkules at Biyernes, alas 3 ng hapon, dito lang sa Daily Tribune Facebook page at Tribune Now sa YouTube. Conversations that are masterclasses from the top honchos of various industries. Learn from their strategies and insights so you yourself can unlock your full potential. Perfect every Friday at 2 p.m. only here on Daily Tribune's Facebook page and Tribune Now in YouTube. Creative minds, entertainment icons, style influencers. We shine the spotlight on remarkable individuals who shape our cultural landscape. Every Tuesday at 2 p.m. only here in Daily Tribune's Facebook page and Tribune Now in YouTube. Parayan at talakayang showbiz times 2, doble-doble! Kasama ang dalawa sa walang kupas na talakayan ng showbiz, Alwin Ignacio at Alex Brosas. DTT Show, tuwing Sabado at Linggo, alas 4 ng hapon, dito lang sa Diaryo Tirada ng Daily Tribune. Straight Talk dives deep into present issues of leadership, politics, business, and more. Engage in insightful conversations with industry shakers, government leaders, and trailblazers every Wednesday at 10 a.m. only here on Daily Tribune's Facebook page and Tribune Now in YouTube.
And we're back. We're still
Yeah.
with Paco Magsaysay, and we left a question hanging a while ago. It's about, aren't you since you said that wired cable technology is more cheaper than the wireless thing, and it's more reliable. Aren't you planning to expand the operation to the city, to
Other
Metro
parts,
Manila, other parts?
Metro
Yeah.
Manila.
Well, we actually have a telco franchise, and we are planning to work with other cable companies and maximize their outside plant, and hopefully work with them as a partner. We're not looking to buy out these guys, no, because we feel that it's important to have a local partner in each area, whether it's in the Visayas or Mindanao or even Northern Luzon. No? Very culturally different in every corner of the Philippines. I mean, I experienced that when I was selling our ice cream and going all over the country trying to sell it. So there is still really a need to have a local partner, because iba pa rin yung somebody who speaks Ilonggo to Ilonggo or Ilocano to Ilocano. So it's very different. Yeah.
How about a foreign partner? Hindi allowed, no?
Well,
Sa
for
telecoms.
supposed to be not allowed, but I think we know naman a lot of the telco companies have foreign investments.
Oh.
So, but hopefully we can eventually find a partner that can help us grow further. Because even a company like Converge got a big funder like Warburg Pincus to help them
Yeah.
grow their business. Eventually they sold out, and now it's all owned by Converge, no. So it's not naman a bad thing to get foreign funding to come in and to help grow a business.
Are you
Yeah.
talking with any foreign companies?
Sa ngayon wala pa. I think we need to do a lot of how you say, fixing in-house, before we start talking to these funding companies. But eventually, hopefully, we'll get to that point in the next year or so. Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, I'm just wondering about that ice cream thing.
Okay.
Why was it? Why did you
You got
give?
the ice cream.
Why did you give it up?
Actually, during the pandemic, it was so difficult for us because we're more of a B2B business. No? We were selling to restaurants, hotels, airlines, resorts. And when the pandemic hit, it really affected our business because most of our business were shut down. And we were paying our staff 100%, but we were only siguro earning 20% of the usual. And it got to a point where I was really pulling money out of my own pocket to keep everybody at 100% salary. And I remember asking my dad, maybe it's time that we should close, and sabi niya, anak, wag muna, kasi we're still milking the cows every day. So we need to do something with the milk. We can't just throw it away, sayang, no? So, a few months passed, although the pandemic lasted a couple of years. But in the wake of President Aquino in the South, my dad and I attended the wake. somebody taps my shoulder, and it was Babe Singson,
Mm.
who was DPWH of Pinoy,
Uy.
but is now working with the Metro Pacific Group.
Pacific.
Because Paco, Sir MVP wants to ask if you're open to working together. You know, I was already thinking of closing the company, right? So I was
Yeah,
like,
same.
sure, why not? I mean, what's there to lose, right? So I remember visiting Sir MVP in the Metro Pacific office here in Makati, and we were all wearing a mask, and even the plastic face mask, and
Shield.
Sir MVP comes in without anything, and so, oh, Paco, how are you? You know? And then kaya pala he got COVID 4 times or something because he doesn't wear, you know, masks or anything. But yeah, it was the valuation took about 1 year. The due diligence and the valuation took about 1 year. They included not only the ice cream, because they wanted really the brand Carmen's Best. They bought also the dairy farm of my father and his friends, along with the dairy processing. So the idea of putting up a farm was really my father's idea to stimulate the rural economy. Parang he wanted to have business outside Metro Manila para hindi na yung mga tao pumupunta parati sa Metro Manila, and you know, have some sort of commerce generated in the provinces.
Ano pala
So, tulong pa rin yung tingin ng dad ko. Ako naman negosyo. So, yeah.
Pero aside from, you know, the farm, everything,
Yes.
kasama din yung employees.
Yes, definitely. I mean, when they
Stock and
came in,
barrel.
they didn't have naman, it's not their business eh. In fact, we were the first agriculture company that they bought with this new arm called Metro Agro Ventures.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Metro
this is
Agro
a new
Ventures,
group
it's a
that
new-
they started, and us being the first acquisition, and then they bought other agri businesses after us.
Yeah.
I think I just read in the paper this morning they completed a deal for Axolum, the coconut
Oh, yeah. Yung ano,
coconut
processor.
processor,
Processing
yeah,
field.
for a few billion pesos.
Are you happy with the deal?
Malayo naman kami sa billion. So, sabi ko, ba't nyo kami tinitingnan? We're such a small company. But, you know, they could have
It's
bought,
the brand.
yeah, they really wanted the brand. And it was good that, you know, we're working with a big company like them. Kasi 51% sila, 49 pa kami.
May share pa
Yes,
rin.
yeah. But they have complete management, and
Yeah.
I sit on the board.
So it's not totally pala. Tatanungin ko pa sana. Na,
Nandun pa
ano,
naman ako.
May follow-up tanong pa sana
Yeah.
ako, pero
No, I don't want to get into ice cream anymore. If you're gonna ask that. Yeah, it's a finished chapter in my life. So I'm
Unless
now
you
doing
eat it.
that. Yeah, I just eat it now. Kaya malaking katawan ko. Yes.
Oh, masarap yun eh, Carmen's.
yeah,
Best.
yes.
Tikman ko yun.
We'll send you some.
So just a question, they retained the name, yeah, because they wanted
They
the
wanted
brand.
they wanted the brand, yes.
Yeah, okay. So Carmen is the name of your.
My only daughter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my youngest child is Carmen. And I have 2 boys, and then Carmen is the youngest. She's a girl. But she's 26, but she's still my baby. Baby ko pa rin siya.
So, the transaction included the farm.
You know, initially they didn't want to get the farm because lugi yung farm eh.
Kaya,
Di ba? So I said, but Sir MVP, you need to buy the farm kasi the farm gives you an excuse to come up with other dairy products. Di ba? Like you can come up with cream, you can come up with yogurt, you can come up with
oo nga.
flavored milk, you can come up with all these other dairy products
Not
because you
just
own the
ice
farm.
cream.
Yeah. And nakita naman niya, and I said naman, it's not gonna be worth, I mean, valuation-wise, it's not gonna be a lot, but that's the reason why you can say that you're coming up with a lot of other dairy products. So, yeah. Nakikinig naman siya.
Okay.
So that's what's nice about him. He's a very grounded person, extremely hardworking. And, you know, he just wants to do well for the people he works with, which they demand a certain return in their investment. So, yeah.
So, yung family's focus sa ano na ngayon?
Sa cable TV.
Cable
TV, broadband internet. Yeah.
So, how's, do you consider other business interests?
Well, of course, there's always an idea that comes into my mind, but
Like what?
Well, I just got a hip replacement recently, and so maybe something in the healthcare type thing.
Healthcare.
Yeah. But of course, my commitment is for the cable TV and the broadband internet, and if we get it to a certain scale, then it'll be easier to hire the right people and all that. So yeah,
Expansion, maybe.
yes, yeah,
With the families, ano naman, rich history in public service.
yes.
So, although this is contrary to what you said, you don't have to be a politician to help others.
Yes.
But are you entertaining that? To go into public service?
Well, always get asked that because, my lolo was president, my dad was senator, then I make ice cream, di ba? So, people ask me that, but
Good combination.
yeah, I think my future is really not
Business.
in politics. Yeah, it's really in business, and I think I can contribute more doing something I enjoy and something that I love than maybe being in something that I'm not so familiar with, or I might have a difficult time. So yeah.
Not even a cabinet position. You would not,
Not an
going to
elected
consider
position.
Well,
that. Appointed
it's
position.
it's been talked about, but what's hard with that is you have to follow a certain, like if they ask you to
Yeah, divest.
yeah.
Yeah, you,
Yeah.
Oh,
you
yeah.
have to
So, yun
divest
yung
your
mahirap.
business
Support it,
interest.
Yeah. So okay lang.
Meron naman mga
Hindi
ano
naman
na
ako
hindi
nagugutom.
nagda-divest eh.
Marami.
Marami naman eh.
Yeah. I agree.
But the legacy of
Oo nga
course
eh.
of his
I
lolo.
don't think he would go to that.
Yeah.
Of course, yung legacy ng lolo. I mean, honesty, integrity, and hard work.
That's right.
Of course. So, babalikan at babalikan niya. So,
Won't happen.
yeah. So, Chito, I mean, baka may question ka pa about that Asian Visions. So, what's
Yeah,
your
there's a lot.
vision for Asian Vision?
Well, we want to grow it and hopefully attract the right group to help support us and offer service in key areas in the country. And then we'll go from there. Kasi I'm not naman looking to be like the biggest player or the most profitable player. So we want to have a business that's sustainable, that helps our clients the best way we can. Which is somewhat similar to my experience working in the ice cream, where we really helped out our resellers and parang tulungan, helping each other. So I think that's a more fulfilling role than just trying to get as much profit as you can get from your clients. So
Pero yung sa ice
Yeah.
cream yata, mas nitty-gritty eh.
it was a very niche product. And when we were acquired by Metro Agro Ventures, it gave us a credibility that no other private equity could have given us.
Yeah.
Because, Metro Pacific could have bought Selecta or Magnolia, but they bought us. Diba? So, when people look at us, iba nang naging tingin sa amin. Although we never changed the recipe, it's the same recipe. So, I was telling the same people, I've been telling you that. That's the best ice cream he can make and everything. But I guess, there were skeptics, until when Metro Pacific bought us. Then they said, oh, I guess these guys are for real.
Of course, may non-disclosure doon
Yeah.
for the recipe.
Well, I shared that with them already. I mean,
Yeah,
as a
on your
partner.
part, since you sold it to them.
Yeah. Yeah, the recipes and all came with it naman, which, I know that they're looking to grow the business, and, I also want them to succeed because their success is my success. So it's a win-win.
But MVP is in telecom, so he might have
Yeah.
talked to you regarding City Vision.
I
Asia
think-
Vision,
I think
I
we're
mean.
so small. Parang we're such a small speck in the
Oh, you
whole
have a niche,
network.
eh.
Yeah. So we'll see. I mean, I did mention it to him, but he changed the subject. So, so I think maybe siguro sa loob niya, palakihin mo muna yan. Tapos mag-usap tayo. But yeah, I mean, they've been a good group to work with and very professional. Yeah. Yeah.
So for the meantime, it's still
It's agri with them. Agri with them. Agriculture. He sees a lot of parallels with what he did with the hospitals, where he invested in
yeah,
all these
right.
healthcare, di ba? Healthcare.
when nobody is investing in
Yeah,
hospitals.
so nakita niya, we're importing so much food for the country, from rice to dairy and whatnot. So he's trying to address that issue where we don't need to import so much anymore and be more self-sustainable. Yeah. Yeah.
So being what's this? The Magsaysay now
Yes.
out of, the political radar.
Yes.
So what steps are being undertaken by the family to make the Magsaysay name more relevant and impactful?
Well, I think that's what makes us different is because we don't do that. So we don't have any plans to come up with programs or any events or activities that would do precisely that. We feel that by kumbaga, history
Setting
speaks for itself.
example.
Yeah, I mean, we don't need to prove anything to anyone, and we just help out. And we don't need the press whenever we help out. And we just do it quietly. So
So,
And of course, the Magsaysay Awards. That's
Magsaysay
already
Awards, yeah.
something.
yun yung legacy.
Yun na yung pinaka-legacy. And you said it has been there for
60 years.
for 60 years.
yeah.
So it's more than, it's
Quite
ano na
long.
ba ang 60? I mean, 50 is golden,
Yeah.
75 is diamond, so
Yeah.
60,
60,
nearing the
what-
diamond,
yes.
Diamond.
diamond age. Yeah.
So,
So we have more questions for Paco, Chito, right?
more questions.
And we'll be back after a short break.
This break is brought to you by Angkas, Beat the Traffic, Bayad Center, hashtag bigger, better, younger bayad, and you can buy it all. Globe, atin ang mundo. Meralco, ang liwanag ng bukas. SM, we've got it all for you. Smart, live more today. Union Bank, it starts with you. A wellness show dedicated to empowering viewers with knowledge and inspiration needed to lead a healthy lifestyle. Be Well Now, hosted by Miss Cory Crino, every Wednesday at 2 p.m. only here at Daily Tribune's Facebook page and Tribune Now in YouTube.
Alamin ang pinakamaiinit na balita at mahalagang issue na bumabalot ngayon sa ating bansa. Ating pag-usapan, blow by blow, dito lang sa Hot Patatas, kasama sila Chicky Mangkukang, Vernon Velasco at Gio Leaño. Yung Lunes, Miyerkules at Biyernes, alas 3 ng hapon, dito lang sa Daily Tribune Facebook page at Tribune Now sa YouTube. Conversations that are masterclasses from the top honchos of various industries. Learn from their strategies and insights so you yourself can unlock your full potential. Perfect every Friday at 2 p.m. only here in Daily Tribune's Facebook page and Tribune Now in YouTube. Creative minds, entertainment icons, style influencers. We shine the spotlight on remarkable individuals who shape our cultural landscape. Every Tuesday at 2 p.m. only here in Daily Tribune's Facebook page and Tribune Now in YouTube. Parayan at talakayang showbiz times 2, doble-doble. Kasama ang dalawa sa walang kupas na talakayan ng showbiz, Alwin Ignacio at Alex Brosas. DTT Show, tuwing Sabado at Linggo, alas 4 ng hapon, dito lang sa Diaryo Tirada ng Daily Tribune. Straight Talk dives deep into present issues of leadership, politics, business, and more. Engage in insightful conversations with industry shakers, government leaders, and trailblazers every Wednesday at 10 a.m. only here on Daily Tribune's Facebook page and Tribune Now in YouTube.
Yes, mga katribo,
yeah,
we're back.
we're
We're
back.
still with Paco, the President and CEO of Asian Vision.
Yeah, we have a question, Paco, about
Yes.
accessing your services. How does a company who plans to or who wanted to have
Subscription
the
from us,
subscription from Asia Vision
Yeah.
can go about it?
Well, we have a website that they can inquire, or then somebody will get back to them. And we pride ourselves in more of a service-oriented company. Kasi lalo na sa provinces, parang they expect to speak to somebody on the phone or what. So the bigger companies sometimes, because there's just such a big market or a big subscriber base they're dealing with, they have to work with like automatic answering services or
Robot.
robots na or bots, whereas sa areas namin, it's not naman so such a huge market. We're still able to attend to our clients personally.
I see. Well,
So how much does it cost?
how
It
much
depends
is
on the
it?
service that you get. So
Yeah,
there's no like a fixed cost of
Say the lease.
Yeah, comparable.
we have special packages that
comparably.
start at $9.99 and then going up. But of course, the speed of that is not so fast.
Parang
It's
ano
more for
yun,
checking email and all that. But if you need to do a lot of like Zoom calls or Google Meet calls, then you would need to get something that is of a higher speed para hindi choppy yung signal natin.
And how much is that?
$14.99 and up. Yeah.
So that's
Say-
for
oh,
that's for small businesses already that need,
Yeah. The $14.99 is more of a residential service.
residential.
The business accounts go up.
How
3,000
fast
and
is
above.
that in terms of ano?
Yeah. Depende rin ho sa speed. So on the package there's
Yung-
can be 50 MB.
49.9. 50.
Yeah. Well the
okay
yeah,
naman.
it's 50 MB for the 999. So,
9.99.
yeah. Yeah. So
And
ano,
how long does it take? Say I apply today. How long does that take?
2 to 3 days. So, yeah. So it's not
Fast.
so bad, yeah.
It's quite fast.
Yeah.
And what areas yung kulang sa sa services ng broad interconnectivity?
Well, the way a business person would look at it is which areas are more dense or which are more progressive, no? So that's where normally you would have your service. So these are mainly like cities, like South Metro
Doon kayo
Manila
sa
would be
cities.
quite good areas to serve. The provinces of Cavite, Laguna, Batangas, Calabar zone, because the growth there has been really amazing. It's
Correct,
exceptional growth. The north has not really caught up as much as the south, but the north is also starting to come into its own, especially with the airport of Mr. Ramon Ang being put up in Bulacan.
Bulacan.
Yeah, so there's a lot of things happening also in the north. But sa ngayon, talagang mas lamang yung Calabar zone. Calabar zone B, I think they call it Calabar zone B. Yeah.
How extensive na ba yung internet connection? Like, how many percent of the country is interconnected right now?
Well, in the areas where, like the cities as I was mentioning, it's already 100%. No? But when you talk about bridging the digital divide, where
Yeah.
the far-flung areas are not really being serviced. Kasi as I mentioned earlier, mahal maglatag ng kable
Right.
to go to far
That's the
areas.
problem.
And if you have barangays or sitios that are 3 or 5 kilometers away, then it becomes a problem because who's gonna lay out the 3 kilometers or 5 kilometers of cable? It's very expensive. So you have to rely on a wireless service
Wireless,
like a Starlink, which also costs a lot of money. Like that Starlink setup is already 30,000. And then your usage for bandwidth is also more expensive than that of a wired service. So that's what the government's been trying to promote, is to bridge the digital divide and to have service in all these far-flung areas. But it's also very cost prohibitive for a small company like us to go into those they call it suicide areas because luging-lugi ka talaga doon, no?
Pero how can government help? Like, what can the government should offer you to go into these far-flung areas?
Well, the government has their own frequency, and if they want to launch a service just for the far-flung areas, they can do it naman. But
Okay.
like whenever it comes to technical work, like even the toll roads, they prefer to outsource the work or give it to a build, operate, and transfer type system. No, an example for there is the toll roads where RSA Ramon Ang and of course Sir MVP are doing the North and South Expressway, the CALAX, the SC-TEX and all that, and it's being run very well. And sometimes you think of the the time that you save using these toll roads, and you're like, well, I'd rather spend 500 pesos than stay in 2 hours of traffic, you know. So maybe your gas will also cost 500 pesos anyway. So, but your time alone is, you know, the fact that you can just go from Alabang to the North Expressway in 20 minutes is amazing, you know. Before you had to pass through EDSA, and that would take, you know, quite some time. So the build operate transfer system for government is preferred because of the, you know, how the efficiencies, how private companies run their business. Yeah. I hope I answered your question.
I was thinking about it. Kailangan pa rin ng tie-up yung mga
Yes.
small companies.
Yeah.
You know,
They need support,
Support.
definitely. Yeah. Yeah.
government and the bigger players.
Yes. Actually, even entrepreneurs, it's very hard for them to get a mayor's permit, you know, get a permit to operate.
Yeah, that's one
Yeah.
problem.
So I wish that the government would be more lenient with all these small and medium, even micro enterprises that are trying to start a business. Kasi talagang the uphill climb is, yeah, you can't imagine how difficult it is to start a business from zero. Yeah.
Like yung mga charges na ini-impose ng local governments.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. Very difficult. It's another hurdle that these entrepreneurs have to deal with. Yeah.
Aside from right of way.
Yeah. That's right.
So ito yung isa sa challenges
Yes.
that, players like you,
Yeah.
cable players are, aside from that, I mean,
Yeah.
has the government been, the support, or is it may kulang ba? I mean, meron bang group ang mga small players? To, be united
Yeah.
and,
Well, that's where the associations come in, where we initially had a Philippine Cable TV Association, PCTA. It's now changed to Philippine Communications Association because it's more of an internet or broadband play now. It's not so much cable TV
Hindi
anymore.
na cable TV.
So there's also another group called FICTAP, which is more in the Visayas and Mindanao area. It's a congregation of cable companies doing internet, but smaller companies, that's represented in FICTAP. But pretty much we have the same concerns as the other small companies. But in our industry, wala na yung malalaki. Like before, there was a Home Cable, there was Sky Cable. But now they're not anymore active. So, there are new players now that are being seen as the bigger companies. And one of them is us. So, yeah.
Paco, how are you preparing for Kasi the next big thing daw is the Internet of Things.
Yes.
So, kailangan nun higher speed and broadband.
Yes.
So, how
As I was mentioning earlier, when these new services come in, we will all need faster internet connection because of the
Correct, yeah.
services that are being offered. No? And so this would be more for enterprise accounts. These would be more for businesses, call centers, data centers, industries like healthcare, education,
Right.
Travel and leisure, resorts and hotels. So these companies can tap value-added services, whether it's for the key cards for hotels, could be LMS or learning management systems for schools, distance learning, or additional trainings for teachers. Diba? They don't have to go to the school anymore to get additional training. They can do it from their own homes. So there's really a lot of things that the internet and broadband data is opening up. Before pandemic, we weren't really so much into Zoom or Google Meet calls, right? But now we're able to mix it, diba? And it actually helps us, diba? So let's say maybe 6 or 7 out of your 10 meetings are face-to-face, but the remaining 3 to 4 meetings are Zoom. Ang laking tulong nun, you don't have to go all over the place anymore. You can actually take a meeting from wherever you're at, no? So it actually enhances our lives. It makes our lives easier, and we adapt naman to technology in that sense that kung talagang nakakatulong sa atin, talagang ina-adapt naman natin. No? Iba pa rin yung face-to-face, but
Yeah.
I think the Zoom calls, it plugs a huge gap having to go all over the place and
Yeah.
go from Alabang to Makati and Quezon City and so on. So, yeah.
Inclusivity ng ano,
Yes.
And that's one
education.
thing that, but the pandemic taught us.
Yes,
Mm.
Yeah. The virtual meetings.
that's right.
So, kailangan pa rin ng mga companies na
But
kung
then,
paano
if not for the pandemic, you wouldn't be realizing that,
Yeah.
virtual meetings
Yeah, wala pa rin.
work.
Yeah. It really works. My daughter lives in New York. Her company's in California. So she's 100% online. So I'm like, okay. I mean, there are companies that really, they'll pay their employees full-time and in a decent wage, but yet they're in a different state. They're in the other side of the country. So same thing with us. There's so much opportunity outside where people from the homes can fill jobs and very specialized jobs. No? So it's good na rin for us. It helps us. Hindi na kailangan yung mga overseas contract workers. They can do it from
Yeah. I know I have some friends
Yeah.
who are, working off-site.
Yeah, they can write for
Yes.
publications, and it's all from their own home.
Yes.
Diba? So,
Kaya lang mga local companies hindi pa ine-embrace yan
yes, not so much.
na
Yeah.
yung mga domestic
Yeah.
companies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They all prefer na face to
Yeah,
face.
that's right.
So Paco, how do you see the legacy of the Magsaysay family contributing to a positive and meaningful impact on the Philippine society and beyond?
Yeah. Well, I think with the new generation, many of them don't know much about the history of the country in general. No? I'm not even talking about my own lolo, but if they take the time and the initiative to understand that they were public servants in the past who did exceptional work and work for the poor people, it would help them understand a grasp understanding of what our culture is and what the future holds for us. Kasi sometimes you only know what is told to you by people around you and what you read in the papers or in social media, but actually what happened decades before can actually teach them a lot of what can happen also in the future. Sadly lang, there's a lot of washing of the truth in the internet or social media. That's why they also have to be careful what they take in as what the truth is. But it's really important to understand what happened before to move forward, to know what's going on. And hopefully there's more of a push or an initiative on the younger generation to understand that. So,
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
The younger generation.
yes. Older generation na ako eh. So, yeah.
Older generation.
In their
tayo.
generation, yes.
Yeah. So, and dun pumapasok. I mean, you learn so much from, it's not just from people you talk to,
Yes.
but also you learn so much from the internet. So
That's right.
that's where, connectivity comes in.
That's right.
Right? So, any parting words, Paco?
Well, I always encourage people to try out entrepreneurship, to test if they want to do something that they've been wanting to do for a long time. And it's such a fulfilling thing when you start a business and you're able to sustain it and grow it. No? So I tell people to choose a product or service that they really enjoy or feel close to. Kasi the amount of work you need to put in is just tremendous. I mean, you're talking 6-7 days a week work and a lot of sleepless nights. But if you're able to overcome the hurdle of 3 or 5 years of running your business and continue, the fulfillment level is just unimaginable. It's really grabe. That all the hard work paid off pala. So I hope that the people who have been thinking of putting up a business or starting a business actually do it and live the life that you want to live. Don't live a life for other people.
That's the hard work part of the legacy.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I learned so much from Paco.
Should
in
be
our-
in ano nga, politics eh.
I learned so much from Paco in this morning's discussion that, you know, the legacy of honesty, integrity, and hard work. And
Right.
also, you don't have to be a politician to help others.
That's right.
All right. So thank you so much, Mr. Paco Magsaysay, the President and CEO of Asian Vision.
Asian.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Paco. And thank you, mga katribu. Turn in again next Wednesday for another episode of Straight Talk. I am Chito Lozada.
And I'm Gigie Arcilla. Watch Straight Talk Live every Wednesday at 10 a.m. on Daily Tribune's Facebook page and Tribune Now on YouTube. Thank you so much.
Thank you.